Yo, what's up guys, my name's Hakiii, and who doesn't love to make money, especially making it completely solo without having to rely on anybody else. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best money making methods to do as a solo player in this game that you could do in your free time, and it's actually very enjoyable to be making some good money and to be doing a lot of cool missions. We're going to be starting off with probably the best money method that has absolutely no requirements, so you don't need to own any business for it or anything like that. It's a great money method, especially for beginners, but also for experienced players as well. So go to the V icon on the map. You can go into yellow circle and start up the Cluckin Bell farm raid. This is the only major heist that you don't need to be owning any business for, as I said. So you basically have 5 different setups and then 1 finale mission. This might look like a lot, but honestly in total it should take you anywhere from 45 minutes to maximum like an hour to complete everything. And completing it the first time is actually going to get you $750,000 as a payout, which is really good for within an hour. Every single time after that you're going to be making 500,000, so not as good, but still a pretty good payout for less than an hour usually. Now each heist usually has some sort of cooldown after finishing it, so this one has a cooldown of 1 hour, but we're going to be doing a really good cycle of different money methods that you don't really need to worry about those cooldowns, because obviously there's no point to literally just be sitting there waiting for the cooldown to end to be doing the heist again. An hour might seem like a long time, but it's really not that bad since we're going to be doing other methods. Highly recommend the Cluckin Bell farm raid. Now as a solo player, I absolutely love passive money, and one of the best passive money makers in the game is going to be in the salvage yard. I own this location, which is actually a very bad one. The entrance of it is like narrow, so don't recommend the specific location I have. The active money making side of it is pretty good. You can also do it completely solo. It's going to be inside of this like 2000s looking computer. It's going to pay you a few $100,000, but we're going to be focusing more on the semi-passive money making in this property. That's ultimately going to be generating us money through the wall safe. So as you can see, we have just under $50,000 to collect, but it's going to be going up and up as we play the game. Now the only thing we need to do to start triggering the passive money to generate is doing tow truck missions. As we get in the tow truck, we're going to be launching a tow truck service, and we basically need to do this twice to reach the maximum passive income that you can generate daily through the wall safe, which is 24,000. It's going to give you a randomized location each time. Sometimes it's going to be a bit farther, sometimes it's a bit closer. If you get too far of a location, feel free to just find a new session and go back in the tow truck, but this one is actually not too far away. It's almost always going to be inside of the city, so it's relatively easy to get it. And it doesn't matter what vehicle you go and collect, as long as the location is close, that's all good. As I said, doing just 2 of these tow truck missions, which by the way, there's only a 2-minute cooldown between these tow truck missions, which kind of sucks, but then again, it's only a 2-minute cooldown, so you really just have to wait a tiny bit. Once you get to the vehicle, usually you're not going to have any enemies next to it, so we're just going to back into it, hook it up to the salvage yard. So easy as that. This mission is literally going to be taking like 2.5 minutes. And so with the cooldown, realistically it's going to be taking like 6 or 7 minutes to deliver 2 vehicles in there. Sometimes you're going to get the cops on you, but it's only a 2-star wanted level, so we should be able to lose it relatively quick. Let's just keep on going to the salvage yard. It's just going to be decreasing the amount every single day that you don't do the tow truck mission, so it might be a little bit slower if you decide to stop doing them, but you are going to be getting more and more money, so it definitely is worth it to do. I've actually just literally done 2 of these and then waited a couple days, and all of a sudden I had $200,000 in the wall safe of the salvage yard, so super worth it to do. As you can see, losing the cops is also very easy, so all we're going to do is go in the yellow circle, and that is 1 vehicle delivered. Because the daily amount constantly decreases by a little bit every time you don't do the tow truck missions, it's a great daily activity you can do. Absolutely love this semi-passive money making method, so let's actually go and collect the money we have in the safe right now. I believe the safe caps at maybe $200,000 or $250,000, which is a pretty good amount. Definitely one of the best passive money makers in the game. Another great solo business is going to be the acid lab that you can unlock through the freak shop property. To unlock the freak shop in the first place is very easy. You just have to start doing the first dose missions through the R icon in Sandy Shores. That itself is going to be paying you a lot of money, so if you haven't done the first dose and the last dose missions, you get a fat first time bonus, so you could definitely make a good couple $100,000 from that, and then spend $750K to buy the acid lab lab itself. That is considered pretty cheap for a GTA Online business nowadays. The asset lab works very similarly to a lot of other resupplying and selling businesses like the CEO cargo and the bunker cargo. After buying some supplies, which you can do by going up to Mutt and then buying some supplies for 60,000, as you play GTA Online, we're going to be generating more and more money. Eventually, you're going to be able to sell a full one for about $350,000. Let me also go over here, press right D-pad to boost the production speed. That's also something you should do after buying supplies. And once you reach the capacity, I highly recommend sending it in a public session because you're going to be getting the high demand bonus. It's basically going to give you more money for playing it a bit more risky since people can grief you in a public session, but as long as you do it in what looks to be a chill public session, you should be fine. And instead of $350,000, you're going to be making over $500,000 selling a full acid lab, which is amazing. Think about it, you're buying a business for $750,000 and then after the first sell mission you get about $530,000. That is amazing. Over $500,000 for something that is really just working in the background as you're playing GTA Online and constantly resupplying. The sell missions are very easy as well. You do use this awesome motorcycle that you could just ride around and do wheelies all day. It's actually a very good handling bike. Absolutely love the acid lab, highly recommend it. Let's move on to the next one. This next method is going to be making us money both actively and passively, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. Inside of the agency, let's go in the computer and start up a security contract. Now, doing these security contracts is going to pay us anywhere from $30,000 to $70,000, but at the same time, it's going to be increasing the daily rate we get from the wall safe right over there, and that's the only thing that affects the wall safe. So we literally just have to do more and more security contracts, and then instead of just a few $1,000s every in-game day, we can get, I believe it's up to $20,000 every in-game day through the agency wall safe. It'll give you 3 different contracts to choose from. I'm gonna choose the highest paying one, so 64,000, which is actually really good. That's nearly the maximum payout you can get without any bonuses on the security contracts. Lifetime earnings is over $6 million now from these contracts, which is awesome. So let's accept this thing. You could do it with friends. It definitely will make it a bit easier, but since this is a solo money guide, we're going to be taking on the challenge and doing this ourselves. And also make sure you have a good weaponized vehicle for these missions, like a Mark II oppressor, Deluxo, maybe a Sparrow helicopter. Not only is this one of the highest paying missions, but we also got a really close location. Literally in like 20 seconds, we've already made it to this place. We're going to be needing to take out some enemies. Shouldn't be too difficult. We actually have to go in from the back of Vanilla Unicorn. And I think this is a job for one of our shotguns. All right, let's go in. We have to locate the safe, but on the way are going to be some enemies. Not a surprise. All right, there's the safe. So we found the safe. Now we need to find the combination for the safe, which should be on a yellow sticky note somewhere. Once you get close to it, it's gonna highlight the yellow sticky note. So 050291, easy enough. Quickly go up to the safe, press right D-pad to open it, steal the contents in there before we get lasered by some enemies. Press right D-pad on that. Then luckily we have an Oppressor Mark II, so we can easily escape all of the enemies that spawn outside. Super easy and straightforward. So we're literally gonna be making $64,000 in what, like barely 3 minutes. You really just have to get lucky and hope you get one of the higher paying security contracts, because sometimes you're going to be getting only like 40,000. Once again, it is randomized in every different session you're in. So that is an easy $64,000 right there. Let's move on to the next method. Now we did just make $64K in about 3 minutes. What about $250,000 in about 3 minutes as well? The HSW time trial pays so freaking good. It's the highest paying time trial in the game, and it's actually one of the easiest ones as well if you have a fast enough vehicle for it, like let's say the Hakiii drag. I'm going to be using the Hakiii drag motorcycle. It's extremely fast. It has one of the highest top speeds in the game, and this time trial is going to be at a different location every single week, so you can do it once per week, but still an incredible payout for something that should take like 2 or 3 minutes on average. This one's actually almost 4 minutes, so it's actually one of the longer ones. I'm going to press right D-pad to start it up, then look at the final destination on the map, set a waypoint to it just so I know exactly where I'm supposed to go, and then we're going to restart it using our phone. So let's quit this one. I believe going up here is going to make it a little faster. So These time trials are all about having a fast vehicle with some decent traction and maybe taking a few shortcuts, maybe going off-road a little bit at certain points. We have about 20 seconds left. Let's not fall off the bike, and that is the time trial done. HSW Elite, I don't even know what that is, but $253,000 made in just under 4 minutes. Great payout. Once again, the HSW one, if you have a good vehicle for it, it's gonna be pretty easy. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. That's gonna be another heist. Undoubtedly, the most popular and probably the best money-making method is gonna be the Cayo Perico heist in the Kosatka. To buy the submarine, it's gonna be costing 2.2 million, but it's well worth the money since you're gonna be making a lot more in the long term. Doing all of the scoping out, the couple of setups, and the finale should take you about an hour to an hour 15 roughly. But what's interesting is the payout varies a ton on the primary and secondary loot you get, which is different each time. Let's just say sometimes you're gonna be making 900,000 and sometimes you're gonna be making up to $2.5 million depending on the loot that you get. Of course, you can do it solo or with friends, and the main downside with it is the cooldown after you complete each heist, which is gonna run you about 2.5 hours. Luckily, with the awesome cycle in this video, you really don't have to worry about different cooldowns since we're doing other stuff meanwhile. Now, a business I really like that doesn't get enough appreciation is the bail office. The passive money wall safe depends on the agents that you have in here, so they're one of the upgrades you get when buying this business, so they basically speed up and make you more money through the wall safe. All you need is to go up to them, press right D-pad, and then they're going to be coming back in one in-game day and generating you about $10,000 to $20,000, both of them. Unfortunately, the safe does cap at 100,000, which is a little bit low compared to some other wall safes in the game, but collecting 82k is definitely not too shabby. The active money making side of the bail office is super overlooked. The most wanted bounties that are going to pay about $120,000 to $130,000 for a mission that takes about 15 to 20 minutes maximum, and they refresh once every 24 hours, so doing this as a daily money method is awesome. I don't really recommend doing the regular bounties since the payouts aren't that great and they're not as worth it to do, so focus on the most wanted bounties. They are a great money method, highly recommend them. When we talk about solo money, we have to mention the best passive money maker in the entire game inside of the Nightclub. It's gonna generate you $50,000 every in-game day as long as you keep on refilling the popularity. That's the only thing you need to worry about. It caps at 250,000, so I actually haven't collected this in a good few hours. Very nice little bonus of 217,000 right there. Then we're gonna go in the computer. Lifetime earnings from this safe, by the way, is over $22 million, as you can see right here. We'll go into resident DJ, and then each DJ we rebook is gonna refill the bar by 10%. So as you can see, I believe we need about 30%. About 80% of you watching right now are not subscribed, so feel free to join the Hakiii army for more awesome videos like these that you don't want to miss. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Now click the video on screen now for some more awesome content. I hope you all enjoy that one, and peace.